accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act, NJSA 10:4-6 at SEC, notice of which was sent to the record in the Star Ledger and was posted on the municipal bulletin board. Councilmember Von Rudenberg is absent. Deputy Mayor Canestrino is absent. Deputy Mayor Sims.
Here.
Councilman Pataglia.
Here.
Mayor LaBrus.
Here. Would everybody please rise for the flag salute? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
It must be cold out tonight. So, I do have a proclamation tonight.
Right on. This is for Small Business Saturday, which is November 30th, 2019. And it reads, whereas the City of Hackensack celebrates our local small businesses and the contributions they make to our local economy and community, and endorse the Saturday after Thanksgiving as Small Business Saturday. And whereas Small Business Saturday was created in 2010 to strengthen local businesses, facilitate job growth, boost the economy, and preserve neighborhoods nationwide. And whereas 96% of consumers who plan to shop on Small Business Saturday said the day inspires them to go to small, independently owned retailers or restaurants that they have not been to before or would not have otherwise tried. Now, therefore, I, John P. LaBrus Jr., Mayor of the City of Hackensack, along with the members of the City Council, do hereby proclaim Saturday, November 30th, 2019, as Small Business Saturday, and urge the residents of our community and communities across the country to support small businesses and merchants on Small Business Saturday and throughout the entire year. Okay, so it's important, you have all the malls. We're like mall land here in North Jersey, in Bergen County, but we should be out there supporting our local businesses, especially in Hackensack, so we appreciate that. I need a motion for the approval of the minutes of the cow and regular minutes of October 15th, 2019.
Offer. Second.
All in favor? Aye. Minutes are approved. And with that, we go to your city manager's report.
Good evening, Mayor and Council and invited guest. This is the city manager's report for November 12, 2019. First, I'm pleased to announce the bid opening for Carver Park tennis courts will be received tomorrow. We'll open them so we can finally get started on that project and get this done. A friendly reminder to the 2-day per week garbage collection will continue through 2020 calendar year. The Recreation Department is hosting a senior holiday bus trip. Hackensack residents only. Tickets go on sale Monday, November 18th at 8 a.m. at the Rec Department. Please refer to the hackensack.org for details. The Rotary Club is hosting a food drive now through Thanksgiving. Please drop your donations at the City Hall lobby. There's a very large cardboard box down by the display case if you want to place your articles in there. Number 4 is an open swim program flyer has been updated. November 13th will be the only date for this month. Please refer to hackensack.org for future dates. 5. City is proud to announce that we will receive an NJDEP Green Acres Award for $840,906 for recreational improvements at Stibe and Columbus Park. These projects will move forward once the contracts are finalized. Building Department updates. Week of 10/28 through 11/1 and 11/4 through 11/8. Notices written 71, inspections made 126, summonses issued 2, CCOs done 11, open requests fulfilled 11. That would complete the city manager's report.
Okay,
Thank you, Mayor.
let's go into business, please. Resolution 491-19.
This is a resolution for final adoption of ordinance number 51-2019, an ordinance to amend Chapter 175 of the City of Hackensack zoning with respect to certain zoning classifications for various places of assembly and confirming certain parking area, bulk, and yard restrictions for various places of assembly. This ordinance has been advertised pursuant to law and now calls for a public hearing.
Okay, need a motion to open to the public.
Offer. Second.
All in favor? Aye. Anybody from the public who'd like to speak on this adoption, on this ordinance, please come forward.
Okay, good evening, Kathleen Salvo. Would this include like churches for worship purposes or for assembling?
That's, yes.
It
Do you,
would.
do you want me to explain a little bit
Absolutely.
about the
Yes, please.
purpose of this? So, there is a law called the Religious Land Use and Institutionalized Persons Act that governs how places of worship are to be handled when there is a zoning application, among other things. And our city code didn't really comply with the provisions of that law, which requires places of worship to be treated in a manner similar to that of other places of assembly. Working, and there's been litigation that's been filed against the city with respect to zoning approvals for churches. So, in order to mitigate the risk that those kind of challenges could happen in the future, we have made this adjustment to the zoning code to allow us to be able to treat them equally and this way avoid a potential legal challenge. So really all it means is that, if you're a church, with 1,000 seats or 500 seats, you'll be treated like a community center with 500 seats. You'll be entitled to, the same kind of zoning treatment. You don't have to treat churches more favorably or mosques or temples or synagogues more favorably. You just have to treat them equally to uses of a similar nature. And so that's really what these changes do. Again, it's risk mitigation to avoid future litigation.
Okay, because in the past, we had trouble with places of worship. They come in and their congregations are enormous, and it really is a tax on the neighborhood because they have no place to park, and they park in driveways, and then they pull that religion thing that they're allowed to. So this would make it better for the neighborhoods. I'm trying to protect.
Well, it will not, quite frankly, it will make it better for the neighbors because what it means is now if we choose to, they still have to comply with the zoning code.
Okay.
And now if we choose to deny them, it would prevent them from bringing a litigation
Okay.
and saying, well, you denied us under this law, and this is a very favorable law for religious institutions. There's attorney fee awards, which, is something that's of deep concern, in any sort of these litigations that the city has to deal with. So, quite frankly, it makes it easier for us to apply our zoning rules because there's no longer a difference. And we didn't make it easier. I think we made it so that the same restrictions that apply to community centers apply to churches. We're not easing those restrictions. We're making them equally the same and equally, I don't want to say challenging, but equally having to prove that they meet the requirements of the zone or to get variances. So to me, I don't think this is going to, it's not intended to hurt churches. It's not intended to help churches.
It would
It's
be fair.
intended
It would
to
be
be
fair.
fair to
'Cause
churches.
we see them come in as a few people, and then the congregation gets enormous, and it's a tax, and it's not good for the neighborhoods.
Yeah.
It's been a hardship for a lot of neighborhoods in the city of Hackensack.
And if the church comes in and it's not appropriate for the particular zone, nothing in these changes will prevent our land use boards from dealing with those issues, denying an application if it doesn't meet the requirements. It just means that the chances of a successful legal challenge, if that denial is granted, this will be one less avenue for them to pursue.
And how about if they come in as a social club?
Yes, this is going forward. I will note for the record, I meant to say this earlier, that the planning board did review this at its last meeting and did sign off on it with no changes recommended. It will be formalized. They'll send us a formal resolution confirming that, but I did check with the planning board attorney.
They already in Hackensack, they're going to be grandfathered.
Yeah, this is for new applications.
New ones, okay.
Coming in. Any zoning change would apply to anyone who's looking to come in after this. Beyond that, there's, grandfathering issues. So, going forward, as I said, we're putting ourselves in a much better place. And there's more comprehensive zoning changes. I know Jim talked about, that we will want to look at. The zoning code is antiquated. This was just one area of concern, but it needed to be addressed sooner rather than later, because this is one area where if we didn't fix it, we were exposed to litigation, and we don't want to see that.
So how about an existing church that takes
That's
in,
it, grandfather?
existing church that takes in tenants? Because that's the problem we had last time. They're an existing church, they're functioning wonderfully in the neighborhood, and then they don't call them tenants because they don't pay rent. They say they give a contribution. And then they take it in 3 other congregations, and then it really messed up the neighborhood. So how can we protect that from happening? Because that's what's happening in some places now.
I mean, if it's a change in the use that was approved for, that's something we could look at. We would need specific information as to what specific was being done at the facility, what kind of approvals it has, is it operating within the authority of those approvals, and, determine whether action could be taken. It's very hard to say in the abstract, what we could or couldn't do. We'd have to look at it on a case-by-case basis. Obviously, we have Albarelli and Bridget in the zoning office.
Well, I think
and
this
there
is
would be
good, but
someone
there's
you could
other
speak
things
with.
like how they come in, and the other one was coming in as a social club, and then turning it into a religious facility, and then just bringing like hundreds of people in, just more people than they really should be. So I've had this problem. I mean, I've been doing this for a few years now, and I can't see how a church that's established could take in 2 other tenants and come into to more people. That's what I think we need to protect ourselves into, because that's what's happening here.
Well, that's something
next.
zoning will have to go
Manager,
check to
anything?
see if there's any change in the use on the
Can
building.
we do that with taking in tenants, taking in 2 other congregations?
But to me, that
That's
sounds
what
like a
happened
change in use, so there's.
Just
Yeah,
recently.
I mean, if you want to email me, if you don't have my card, if you have specific information,
Well, it just happened. I mean,
Yeah.
it's something that just happened, and they.
Send me the information and we'll look into it and see
The
if
city
there's an
manager.
issue that
Right.
needs to be
Thank you.
addressed.
Need a motion? Hold on, anybody else in the public want to speak on this? Seeing no one from the public, motion to close to the public? Need an offer? No, I'm closing.
For second.
Okay? None, all in favor?
Aye.
None opposed? Motion to adopt the ordinance?
Second.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. None opposed?
Be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Hackensack County of Bergen and State of New Jersey that ordinance number 51-2019 has passed its second and final reading and is hereby adopted.
Thank you. Resolution what was that? 492-19.
This is a resolution for final adoption of ordinance number 53-2019, bond ordinance providing for improvements to the Voorhees Lane sanitary sewer pump station by and in the City of Hackensack, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, appropriating $1,200,000 therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $375,000 in bonds or notes of the city to finance part of the cost thereof. This ordinance has been advertised pursuant to law and now calls for public hearing.
Okay, need a motion to open to the public for this, please?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Anybody from the public who'd like to speak on this ordinance and this ordinance only, please come forward. Seeing no members from the public, motion to close to the public.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. And at this time, I need a motion to table this.
We need a motion to table the vote of the
Need a motion to
ordinance
table a vote
December
because we
3rd.
don't have enough vote on this.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed. So this will be tabled till
December 3rd.
December 3rd. Resolution 493-19.
This is a resolution for the introduction of ordinance number 54-2019, an ordinance to amend Chapter 117 of the Code of the City of Hackensack Parks to establish rules for the use of synthetic playing fields.
Need a motion, please?
Over.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Be it resolved that the above ordinance being ordinance 54-2019 as introduced is now passed on first reading, and that said ordinance shall be considered for final passage at a meeting to be held on December 3rd, 2019 at 8:00 p.m. or as soon thereafter as the matter can be reached at the regular meeting place of the City Council, and at such time and place all persons interested be given an opportunity to be heard concerning said ordinance, and that the city clerk be and she is hereby authorized and directed to publish said ordinance according to law with a notice of its introduction and passage on first reading, and of the time and place when and where said ordinance will be further considered for final passage.
Thank you. Resolution 494-19.
This is a resolution for the introduction of ordinance number 55-2019, a bond ordinance providing for various 2019 capital improvements by and in the city of Hackensack, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, appropriating $4 million therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $3,809,000 in bonds or notes of the city to finance part of the cost thereof.
Need a motion, please, to introduce.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. None opposed.
Be it resolved that the above ordinance being ordinance 55-2019 is introduced, is now passed on first reading, and that said ordinance shall be considered for final passage at a meeting to be held on December 3rd, 2019, at 8:00 p.m., or as soon thereafter as the matter can be reached at the regular meeting place of the city council, and at such time and place all persons interested be given an opportunity to be heard concerning said ordinance, and that the city clerk be and she is hereby authorized and directed to publish said ordinance according to law with a notice of its introduction and passage on first reading, and of the time and place when and where said ordinance will be further considered for final passage.
Thank you. Resolution 495-19.
This is a resolution authorizing tax refund for duplicate payments and state board judgments.
Need a motion, please?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. None opposed. Resolution 496-19.
A resolution authorizing the tax collector to convert the below charges to property liens as per NJSA 40:48-2.14.
Need a motion, please?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed. Resolution 497-19.
This is a resolution authorizing the city of Hackensack to enter into a grant agreement with the county of Bergen for 2019-2020 Community Development Block Grant, otherwise known as the CDBG Award for road resurfacing various locations, Elm Street and Prospect Avenue North.
Need a motion, please?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. None opposed. Resolution 498-19.
A resolution authorizing a refund pursuant to NJSA 54:4-54 of taxes paid by mistake by Bolin Realty for Block 30.01, Lot 52.02, known as Maiden Lane, on the tax map of the city of Hackensack, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey.
Need a motion, please?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. None opposed. Resolution 499-19. I'm sorry.
499-19. A resolution authorizing change order number 1 to Boswell Engineering for Main Street Streetscape Project.
Need a motion, please?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. None opposed. Resolution 500-19.
A resolution authorizing award of contract for engineering services to Suburban Consulting Engineers for Fashini Park site investigation.
Need a motion, please?
I got a question here. If we're gonna award that to Boswell, what are gonna be the amount that they're gonna get charged by the hour?
No, this is a change order.
Change order?
This is a change order on something we had already done
Wait,
with
you're
them
going
in the
back to
past.
499?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
Oh, you're
a,
going back to 499, okay.
this is a change order. Boswell has a contract for the Streetscape South project for about a one-block area. And they have an existing contract. Contract was awarded in 2017.
Okay.
This change order, I believe, is $4,500. And what it does is, again, they're only doing one block of the streetscape. But what they're gonna do is they're gonna take into account the side streets. And that's what this is for.
Okay, thank
Thanks, Jim.
All
So
right, so
500-19.
we have an intro by Deputy Mayor Sims. We need a second. Or,
Yeah.
okay,
All in favor?
I
Aye.
always all in favor.
just making sure.
None opposed. Resolution 501-19.
This is a resolution authorizing award of contract for engineering services for Suburban Consulting Engineers, South Newman Street, Temple Avenue Stormwater Conveyance Improvement Project.
Need a motion?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. None opposed. Resolution 502-19.
This is a resolution authorizing award of contract for engineering services for Suburban Consulting Engineers for the New Jersey Infrastructure Bank, otherwise known as the I-Bank coordination efforts.
Need a motion, please.
Second.
All in favor? Aye, none opposed. Resolution 503-19.
That's the one that we're pulling.
We're pulling, that's correct. 503-19 is off. Docket, Resolution 504-19.
This is a resolution designating a redeveloper and authorizing entry of redevelopment agreement with Anderson Street Station Urban Renewal LLC as the designated redeveloper of the Anderson Street redevelopment area consisting of Block 419, lots 22, 26, and 27, and Block 419, lot 18.
Need a motion, please.
Second.
All in favor? Aye, none opposed. Resolution 505-19.
A resolution authorizing a transfer of 2019 budget appropriations.
Need a motion, please.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. And Resolution 506-19, payment of bills.
Resolution authorizing payment of bills.
Let's pay the bills. I need a motion, please.
Offer.
All in favor? Aye, none opposed. Okay, anybody have any, three of us here tonight, anybody have a conflict with the consent agenda?
No.
I see none from me, so go ahead.
Okay, the consent agenda consists of Resolution 507-19 through 516-19. The following items are considered to be routine in nature and will be enacted in one motion. Any items requiring expenditure are supported by a certification of availability of funds. Any item requiring discussion will be removed from the consent agenda, and consent agenda items will be reflected in full in the minutes, including any exceptions and/or additions. First resolution is Resolution 507-19, which is a resolution authorizing the mayor and council committee of the whole and regular 2020 meeting schedule with all dates that are subject to change. Resolution 508-19 is a resolution authorizing endorsement of proposed Bergen County Community Development Grants for 2020. Resolution 509-19 is a resolution supporting a preliminary preferred alternate for replacement of Bergen County East Anderson Street Cedar Lane Bridge over the Hackensack River in the city of Hackensack and in the township of Teaneck. Resolution 510-19 is a resolution authorizing the governing body for the certification of the annual audit. Resolution 511-19 is a resolution authorizing the city of Hackensack to submit a 2020 Bergen County Community Development Block Grant application for Lodi Street. Resolution 512-19 is a resolution authorizing the settlement of litigation entitled Candela et al. Versus City of Hackensack et al., United States District Court, District of New Jersey, case number 2:16-CV-09335-ES-SCM. Resolution 513-19 is a resolution authorizing the approval of the 2018 Audit Corrective Action Plan. Resolution 514-19 is a resolution authorizing the release of escrow for 540 River Street. Resolution 515-19 is a resolution authorizing release of escrow for 103-104 West Franklin Street. And Resolution 516-19 is a resolution authorizing the release of escrow and performance bond for 86-110 South River Street. Need a motion?
Okay, I need a motion to adopt the consent agenda as it was read.
Second.
All in favor? Aye, none opposed. Okay. It was like the lightning round in Jeopardy. Need a motion to open to the public, please.
Second.
All in favor? Aye, none opposed. Anybody from the public would like to speak, please come forward, give your name to the clerk, and you will have 3 minutes of time. Thank you.
Kathleen Salvo. On the consent agenda, Resolution 512-19, the Candela case. You went in the back for closed session to discuss this, and then it came out and you approved it. Can you tell me the amount of that settlement?
The city's portion of the settlement is $275,000. Additional portion of $100,000 is paid for by the city's insurance carrier. Mr. Candela is separating from his employment with the city of Hackensack following the settlement, and we wish him well.
I wish him luck also. So you got $375,000 for blowing a whistle when none of those charges were proven to be true, and we just gave this man money to.
Well, I mean,
I wish it
there,
worked like that.
This is sad.
you
Well,
know,
you're not kidding.
This is very sad that people could just sue the city. Just sue. Sue means you want money, and it's a work related thing, and they destroyed a person by doing this. And I hope that the city comes out with some kind of statement saying that Tony Sedita did nothing wrong. There was nothing proven wrong against him, and the city has to make that comment. The man deserves that much.
we can absolutely make the comment that the city does not, nor does any of the individual defendants, do not admit liability for anything that was alleged in this lawsuit. Absolutely not. Lawsuits, unfortunately, these days, you have to make difficult business decisions as to what's financially best with a city. You have to deal with insurance carriers and their requirements. You have to deal with the risk of large attorney fee awards because of the nature of the laws that are in place right now. So no one wants to, settle cases. No one wants to pay anything. But by the same token, you have to make the best business decision that's in the best interests of the city, that's going to be the most cost-effective in the long run, given the nature and expense of litigation, given the cost of attorneys. And in this case, there were multiple defendants, meaning the city had to pay for multiple attorneys. And the possibility that if a case goes before a jury, even if we believe that there's meritorious defenses to it, that if a jury sees it differently, the potential with fee shifting of an extremely potential seven-figure attorney fee award. So in any case that we settle, all of those aspects have to be considered, and you have to sometimes make what is in the best business decision of the city. So in this case, as I said, the city wishes the two employees well, has nothing ill to speak of them whatsoever. And we have nothing ill to speak of the individual defendants in this case. It's just sometimes you have to make the best financial decision in the interests of the city. And that was the recommendation that the city's council and the city's insurance carrier made here.
So you were bullied into settling. Okay, that's that. And just this Tony Sedita deserves
All right, we're way past, Ray.
to
So-
say that.
But
Now,
if you
he
would,
took up my
I'd like
time.
to speak to you after the meeting,
Okay,
because I think we're going to
thank
be
you.
done early. I would like to speak to you
Okay.
personally.
I also have some safety issues that we discussed last time, and that's
We're
important. because-
we're way past 3 minutes.
No, he took my 3 minutes.
I'm going to give you 30 seconds.
have
What do you have?
Okay, safety issues, ECDC school, it's getting, we were lacking police officers, okay? There's a shortage of police officers.
I would just
So
deal with the
every
city
day,
manager on this, please.
they just come in, I asked to talk to the city manager multiple times to set up a meeting with him, but I don't get any answers back. I said I can meet with you anytime, I asked you to call me, and I get
Well,
no
You're going
response.
to meet with him now.
He's just, okay, so now.
You're going to meet with him now, and it'll be dealt with.
Okay, we need to take care of this. We need a crossing guard, we need a crosswalk, and we need a drop-off point. And we also
Right.
need a Fairmount section, it got better, but at one meeting, and you also agreed to it, Mr. Mayor, is to make the street sweeper come before 8 o'clock so that the people can have those, that she just can have those parking spaces, and it didn't happen.
Can you see to that gets done, please?
Yeah,
Ted?
please, because that would
Or
be a big improvement for that neighborhood also.
Okay.
And it did get better, but
Next.
we have lots of safety issues. All right, I'll meet with you later.
Thank you. Next, please.
Rich Serbo, Spring Valley Avenue, Hackensack. And let's start right there with Spring Valley Avenue. You got to do something about it. There's trailer trucks speeding on Spring Valley Avenue. Trailer trucks, buses that are late for their runs, I guess, are speeding to the corner at Main and Spring Valley. It is absolutely outrageous. And I've said it 100 times over the last several years.
That officer's writing it down as we speak. I know
Yeah,
it.
okay. He wrote it down many times before too,
No,
I
no,
guess.
that's
Okay.
not true, but he will
Right,
have
so
to.
let's talk about a couple other things
Sure.
before, we're silenced, and everyone else being silenced here too. So, one thing this week is I had a water heater installed, and all of a sudden, additionally, we need a pressure tank with it to add on another $500, $600. And the plumber that put it in said, hey, tell the city about it because your water pressure's too high. Now, I called the city, I couldn't get Ted because he's somehow busy, yet he tells us he comes early and leaves early, but he's never available. The girls in the office did help me, and some project manager did explain things to me. Now, I know that the water company has a responsibility there, but does the city have anything to do with that? Because all of a sudden, my water pressure's high, and a water heater now is no longer $1,000, but it's almost $2,000. Okay, so
Something
please
happened there.
explain what the heck is going on there. Okay, so Spring Valley Avenue, the water heater. What about? I've talked about in the past about properties that are not taxed in the city, and I just learned by reading a article about the YMCA that they don't pay any taxes either. So what the hell is happening here? Schools, churches, the county, the hospital. Now the Y adds to the list. I mean, give us a break. So is that why our taxes are so friggin' high? We have small, modest homes, and our taxes are high, okay? Because all these big nonprofits are not paying any freaking taxes, and they're not nonprofits. They're making plenty of money, okay? The YMCA charges a bundle for swim lessons and lots of other stuff. Their memberships there and everything. So, here we go with the bell. John, look, I mean, when is the city populace, when are we going to be able to speak our minds in this city?
You
Because
just did,
there's
sir.
so much more to talk about, and we never get a chance. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I will answer before anybody else speaks, if I may. Frank will take care of the Spring Valley Avenue issue with the speeding, I guess. We'll take care of that, please.
Outrageous.
Tractor trailers and buses, but I would look for any cars that are speeding. As far as pressure in your water,
You can
uh,
control it
none
from the
of,
top. You got a valve.
there
right
is
in the top.
regulations, but almost every hot water heater, well, most furnaces, is it a furnace or a hot water heater?
How would I would?
You
The
really
hot
shouldn't
water
use an expansion tank, but
I don't
I'm
think you
surprised at
need
that.
You got a valve right in the top that you can reduce the amount of pressure you got into your water heater.
So,
Yeah, they insisted, and the plumber said the city has.
city doesn't control the water, that's an incorrect statement. The plumber
You can
gave you a
close
line,
it.
gave you a line, because we do not control the water pressure.
Okay. well,
Suez Water does.
I called Suez, and they control it, I guess, but.
Suez Water does.
Why would the
You gotta
plumber
know the
tell me
valve in the top
city
of the
has
water
something
heater.
to
I understand
You
that,
can
but
close it.
the plumber
Reduce
didn't,
it.
the plumber obviously didn't tell him that.
I think they
As
got
far
you
as,
for a
as far
ride.
as tax property, yeah, you're right. Been saying it for years. Hackensack has a ton. Being the county seat, we have the county, we have churches, we have schools. Schools have never paid taxes, churches have never paid taxes,
Towns
nor,
have never paid
nor should they. Nor should they,
Why?
because they're public institutions, that they're part of, that it's totally different than a business. It's not a business.
And it's outside of the city's control ultimately.
It's something we don't control. We have no say over when somebody is deemed nonprofit. We cannot tax them, all right? And the school is definitely nonprofit. and it's funded with taxpayer money to begin with. The hospital, I will disagree with you, thanks to the agreement that was put together with Deputy Mayor Canestrino and Hackensack University Medical Center. They are paying a substantial amount of money to the city, which we weren't receiving before, so upwards of 4 to 6, I think Jim could speak to that, $4 to $6 million a year, which is considerable amount of money. And, but yeah, at one point, I think about 30% of the property in Hackensack was non-taxable, so that's a lot. So it's a lot harder when you're the county seat.
So have the other towns contribute, okay?
I don't disagree with that, but it'll never happen. Ms. Davis, how are you?
Hi, how are you? Good evening, Reverend Davis. I have just a couple of questions.
Sure.
And I'm glad to see a police officer here. What does it take to get a sign on your street, children playing? I don't know about other blocks, but I know on Stanley Place, I don't know why, they come down that street at 50 miles an hour, and it's very dangerous. I don't know why they think it's a runway, but for some reason they do come down that street particularly fast. Another thing that I brought up, and I've spoken to the city manager, and he has looked into it, but I just wanted to make it public also, because I brought it up here before also. The corner of Railroad Avenue and Central Avenue, for some reason, is extremely dangerous. There are accidents or near accidents there all the time. The company right next to our church finally cut the tree branches down so cars can see the stop sign. But I can't tell you how many times cars almost have an accident there. And 2 weeks ago, 2 cars had an accident and one of them spun and hit the side of our church. So that could have been a person walking there. It could be the children coming home from school that walked past there that could have been hit by that car. Something needs to be done about that corner. I don't know whether the answer is a 4-way stop, whether it's lights or something, but something needs to be done before somebody's killed on that corner. I just one other question about Resolution 509-19 on the consent agenda. This is about the bridge that they've been working on forever. Can you explain what this is about?
They're finally getting around to doing the repairs through the state and federal government. This thing has been down to 1 lane each way for almost 10 years.
Okay.
No buses have been on it because the weight limits. All the resolution tonight was the city of Hackensack is supporting them in repairing this bridge finally.
So Teaneck also is paying for part of this.
No, Hackensack, no, we're not paying for anything. Nobody's paying for anything.
Oh,
This is just a resolution saying we support the County
idea.
of Bergen
Okay.
Bridge over Anderson Street to be repaired.
What's
Basically.
taking it so long?
Oh, it's been tied up. It's funding and, government and,
All right, I just wanted the explanation. That's it, thank you.
thank you, Ms. Davis. And to that, can you see about getting a children playing sign on that street? And that is it. That Railroad Avenue and Central is it's a little funky because of the railroad tracks there.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes,
what you have is a railroad that goes up and down Central, that's up and down Railroad Avenue.
right,
Okay. You have a stop sign here, you have a stop sign here.
correct.
Okay, same thing as Atlantic Street. 2 years ago, my mother got run over at Atlantic Street, because what happens? They stop quick, they look, they go. The other person, maybe a little bit slower, like my mother was, the front of her car got run over, okay?
Mm.
It's a awkward intersection
Yeah,
because of
it's-
the railroad.
Right.
So unless we can move the railroad, I don't know what else we can do.
Yeah, no,
Put a
that's
four-way stop there is gonna be extremely difficult, okay? Because then you're gonna have the same problem. You go, no, this one goes. It's a difficult intersection.
Well, it would be,
okay?
actually, would be more than a 4-way stop the way it's set up.
Exactly.
because- Yeah,
Running a light there is, again, gonna be a nightmare trying to properly organize the lights.
what about a little bit more on the street, like pulling, like,
It's
You
like,
have railroad crossing signs
Right.
as they approach,
Uh-huh.
slow down, okay? It's just, they're awkward old intersections.
it's the same problem in Green and Lodi Street.
Yes.
you know?
But those two, because it's the four-way,
Yeah.
it is difficult. I've even had to jam on my wrist for somebody quickly cut away, It's just difficult, it's,
I should see maybe any other type of, anything that could help that would be, if any help, some signage or maybe some more stuff on the street. I wouldn't put speed bumps,
Table
but,
bumps.
or rumble strips or anything.
not gonna help.
But it's a tough, if you're going, south on Central, south on Railroad, all right, when you get to Central, it's hard seeing them coming down, very hard for them
So
for
how
that.
about no left turn on both things? No
It's
left
not just-
turn that way, no left turn that way.
It's not just the no left turn, it's
Yeah.
also people coming this way, and someone looks, they look back, and this person's just going straight over. It's, again, we get, I know 2 weeks ago, Ms. Davis, the accident you saw, I saw it, I rode through. Again, we don't have that many accidents, but we probably have a lot more near misses, you're right. We don't have that many accidents, many as you might think that we have there. But again, it's an awkward intersection, unfortunately, with the railroad is what makes it an awkward intersection. I
It's
mean-
awkward, but we have, and I know I'm at the turn, but I just hope somebody doesn't have to get killed there on that corner, because it's gonna happen. That could have very happened last week when that car hit the
You
side
gotta
of the
slow
building.
down.
Had a guardrail.
They hit the guardrail?
Now, how about putting a guardrail there so that they're protected?
Where?
On
Where's
both
the guardrail
sides,
gonna
by the
do?
side, by the
No,
sidewalk.
all right, let's,
Next.
we're not gonna go do a back and forth thing here, but, all right. We can look into, you know, maybe any idea to help that area, but it's bad, but,
Next.
anybody else in the public want us to speak? Motion to close to the public. Need a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. None opposed? Okay. David?
2 weeks ago, we had Donnie McClurkin at the HPAC, a phenomenal show. It was sold out. We're looking forward to more shows at the HPAC as the season progresses. Next Saturday in Carver Park, we're having our 3rd annual turkey giveaway. Last year, we gave away 100 turkeys. This year, we're giving away 150 turkeys. With that said, I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving.
Leo?
Okay. The traffic by the schools improved, but areas like in the Fairmont School continue to be a problem. And like sometimes they said, sometimes I name the problem, I try to come with the solutions. For me, by watching even today, I believe that we should go and do the drop for the kids and go around the school. So we have to use Poplar, because sometimes if we are doing what we are doing right now, sometimes the cars, they are all the way by Elm, almost getting close to Spring Valley. Okay, and like I said before too, you don't believe me, go and watch. And that happened every morning. The problem with the speeding, I agree with Mr. Servo. Sometimes I use that Spring Valley and I see the 18-wheeler flying, the buses. And solution for that is like in Fairmont, Euclid, Rose, when the people fly. Yes, like Union City, Inglewood, New York City, they are using table bombs. It's the only way to force people to reduce the speed. I hope so we don't run away by the time a kid got hit by a car. And the poor lighting. For me, the solution is, like I said before to Ted, is having an emergency meeting with PS&G, and they have to improve the lighting around the city of Hackensack and make them responsible for the next accident, you know?
That request was made today.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Now we got the bicycle on the sidewalk continue, and like the city manager says, we're gonna enforce it. But by 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, when the people come back from the restaurants, they come back and no lights in the front of the bike, no lights in the back of the bike. The beds, they don't use any beds that should be reflecting the way we as the drivers, we can see them when they are using the streets at night. Sometimes they cross right in front of you and you don't see these guys. That's related to the bikes. And now we see like electric bike flying around the city. Something that is a recipe for a problem. And then the other problem that I see sometimes is the cars, they are parking too close to the corners. and they block the view. You wanna make a left sometime or right, and the car is parked right by the stop sign. Solution is that we should be, just like in any other town, we have to paint that yellow curve to prevent the car to park too close to the corner, maybe 25 feet, 30 feet. What I would say here? We had to remove the portable bathrooms from the city parks because that costs too much money to the city. The solution is just use the regular bathroom that we got, and we should be got a ranger to open and close the bathroom. There's no reason to have portable bathroom, except like in Baldwin Park, that we don't have no bathroom. That's the only place that I can see we should be have a portable bathroom. DPW is doing a wonderful job related to pick up the leaf from the city of Hackensack. They are working really good. The other thing that I see is that sometimes we are using the street sweepers to push the leaf all over the city. The street sweeper is a $250,000 equipment. I will recommend to use the pickup trucks and put like a broom in the front, like a right in front of the snow plowers, and adapt a broom in the front, and that way we can push without the leaf instead to use the street sweeper. They're too expensive. And the other problem that I want to mention is about the library. For my wife, or my daughter-in-law, for whatever people that I know they use in the library, they prefer to go to Mayville instead to go to the library in Hackensack because they don't have no parking. What is the reason we don't say to these people in the library to park a block away in the public parking and let these parking spaces for the residents that want to use the library? That's all for tonight. Thank you, guys.
Okay. Yesterday, as I'm sure everybody in the room knows, was Veterans Day. We had a wonderful ceremony in Hackensack down at the Green. Yesterday was special because we gave two proclamations out to what I would call two, not just Hackensack citizens and heroes, but two American heroes. One was 95-year-old Lee Dominio, who fought in the Battle of the Bulge, fought on Normandy Beach, was a medic, so you can imagine knowing what that battle was like, what this man saw and survived. And he was awarded several different medals for his service, came back to Hackensack, started a business, raised a family, still lives here today. And the other gentleman, and Lee was in the Army, by the way. The other gentleman was a little bit younger than Lee, about 89 years old, Joe Polifronio, United States Marine Corps, Korea conflict, shot severely wounded by a sniper, and was lucky enough to get airlifted out to a MASH unit in Korea and survived, came back, started a business in South Hackensack, still lives in Hackensack, still works to this day, 89 years old in his printing business. So it's an honor just to be around men like that, and real honor to be able to give them a proclamation from the city of Hackensack. The senior bus trip was mentioned. Tickets go on sale November 18th, the rec department, all right? I know the bus trips are good. I think a few people in this room have gone on it, and becoming quite a popular thing every year. The food drive's coming up, so there's a box downstairs. If you have any canned or dry goods you want to bring down, be greatly appreciated. Tonight we received an award for $840,000 for Stuyve Park. Who gave that to us? The state? Green Acres money. Federal Green Acres funds, $840,000 to go to the Stuyve Park projects. That's a nice little bunch of money for us to get. Stuyve and Columbus Park. All right, that's still going into our parks. That's great. Christmas tree lighting, December 2nd. All right, on the Green. Be the second year for our new Christmas tree. As you may remember, we had a beautiful old tree that was actually very big. but it was in bad shape. It was held together with wires and sticks and everything else, so we had to take that tree down. As much as we hated to, we took it down. It's got a nice little new tree there, which is growing nicely. But come on out, it's at 6 o'clock on the green. It's a great night. High school carolers are there. There's all kinds of food and snacks for the kids, pictures with all the different animated characters that are there. Tonight you saw more money for paving that we received. We're doing a lot of paving in town. Dave mentioned the Donnie McClurkin show. I was there. That show was unbelievable. Unbelievable. It was an hour and a half of nonstop on your feet music, and everybody enjoyed it. It was sold out, and the first two Pack the House series shows have been sold out. Next week we'll be at the council, the manager, probably the attorney, definitely the clerk. A lot of us go down once a year. We go to what's called the League of Municipalities. We go down there, we take a lot of courses. A lot of the courses are very important. Different types of classes that help elected officials. It educates them and helps us with our decision-making. We take some courses that actually give us some refunding on our insurance, which is important. And it's a lot of participation in almost every city or small municipality, town, borough is down there. But we're also going shopping this year. As was mentioned, we're going to shop for a leaf vac system to start using in the city, whether it's 1 or 2 trailers that are pulled or whatever. But we're going to sit and, come up with a plan to deal with these leaves in the city better than we've been dealing with it. The guys work really hard, like Leo said. But right now, they got to pick them up and push them around. The other way is going to be a lot easier. And I agree with it's crazy using the street sweeper for that purpose.
John, prayer for Emmy.
Hmm?
Emmy. Poor Emmy ain't got friends.
Who? Oh, yes. And the reason Deputy Mayor's not here tonight is Emil, her husband, is pretty ill. He's in Hackensack University Medical Center. And so keep him in your prayers, and hopefully he has a quick recovery.
For Albert Deep brother.
Yes, and Al Dibb's brother, too. Where, Albert, you still here?
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you.
Albert Dibb's brother's been quite ill, too, so throw a prayer in for him as well. And we'll see you back here on December 3rd, and happy Thanksgiving to everybody. All right? Enjoy the holiday, guys. Thanks. Motion to close.
Offer.
All in favor? Aye.